an update from Force 13 Live. We're doing a quick update at this hour on Hurricane Lane and how it's been appearing in the latest frames. It's starting to look very lopsided. My name's Nathan Foy. I'm joined by Strat and Devon for this update, and we're pleased to have Devon with us tonight.
Yeah, I don't make too many appearances on stream anymore, thanks to internet not necessarily being that good for me, but this is definitely something I needed to make an appearance.
A hurricane warning, that typing warning there as well at the bottom of the screen, but a hurricane warning in effect for most of the islands except the westernmost of the main islands, that is. So including Oahu, including the Big Island, we've been looking at flooding issues and huge amounts of rainfall. Devon, where do you want to start with this?
Yeah, I'm going to start with elaborating on the hurricane warning specifically in Maui County, including the islands of Maui, Lanai, Molokai, and Kahulawe. The main issue here is because there's a lot of uncertainty with this. The Pacific Hurricane Center keeps on saying that this is a very low confidence and challenging forecast, and that's due to basically the lack of steering currents going on with the system, plus the interaction with the Big Island of Hawaii. The mountain that goes up to 13,000, 14,000 feet is extremely disruptive to a system like this. So it's really unknown how far north that the system is going to track. So the question is right now when the low-level circulation is going to end up decoupling, and when this will occur is basically what the Central Pacific Hurricane Center is saying is the million-dollar question. So as of right now, at least from what I see, the 4 islands in Maui County aren't directly underneath the hurricane, aren't in the cone, but it is very possible for the system to continue tracking north and potentially track over any of the islands within the county. It should be noted that there is a flash flood watch currently in effect for this county, and some information here says storm total rainfall amounts could add up to 10 to 20 inches in widespread areas, and with localized amounts in excess of 30 inches. That's coming directly from the advisory.
And we were discussing this during the live stream earlier on tonight, Devon, in that it had already reached nearly 20 inches in one area of the Big Island as of about 3 hours ago. What do you think the limit's going to be with this?
It's very difficult to tell. It all has to deal with how close Lane gets to the Big Island and how long Lane decides to stall right off the coast of Maui County, because we could potentially see rainfall. We could potentially see rainfall in excess of what we saw during Harvey in localized locations like towards the mountaintops because of all the uplifting going on here. Plus the storm, again, it really isn't going to be moving very quickly, and it's going to be changing direction as well. So it's really not in any hurry to go anywhere. Hawaii's going to be dealing with this system for a while.
Now, in the last update, they said, the Central Pacific Hurricane Center, that the storm has slowed down another mile an hour, which is now down to, what is it, 6 at this point, or 7, yes, something like that. Is it conceivable that it's already starting to stall?
And hopefully that is what is going on. The sooner that this storm stalls and the further away from the Hawaiian Islands that this storm stays, obviously the better. The models have trended to the north and east, and currently the Central Pacific Hurricane Center cone lies just a little bit to the west of the multi-model consensus. So they are still predicting the storm to stay a little bit weaker, stay a little bit further to the west. They're really hammering in on what the European model is saying, and they're definitely going with that guidance. But you have the mesoscale models like the HWRF and the HMON and the COAMPS that all take it either perilously close or directly over one of the islands in Maui County.
Strat, are you able to show us any of those model runs?
Yeah, I can actually pull up a model spread for us right now. Just give me 1 second.
Alright, whilst we wait that 1 second, Devon, any other messages for us?
As far as also, I should note that Hurricane Lane is, at least as of current, with the 125 mile per hour advisory that has just come out, that would put Lane as a stage 5 on the Cyclone Destructive Potential Scale, or the CDPS, as it's commonly abbreviated on here. And it's a very borderline stage 5, stage 6, and that typically means that the storm is extremely serious. It's definitely something that you don't want to be messing around with. You're going to get very high winds, very heavy rain, and typically a storm that's rated this high is a large system. Now, Lane isn't necessarily a large system. The tropical storm force winds only extend out 120 nautical miles, and the hurricane force winds only extend out 30. So that's not a terribly large system. But the reason why this is rated as highly as it is, despite having very small size amounts, is because of how slow it's moving and how much rainfall it's expected to produce. So this is, just because this got downgraded to a Category 3, just because this got downgraded to Stage 5, does not mean to take this storm any less seriously. The biggest concern right now is the torrential rainfall that is currently expected across all of Hawaii, not just specifically in Maui County, but all of Hawaii is expected to get at least 10 to 20 inches of rain, widespread localized amounts 30 plus. So this is a very serious situation that everybody needs to be taken seriously, and if you haven't finished storm preparations, like, they need to be finished now.
Today. Strat, this is the models that we're looking at here.
Yep. Here's the model spread right now. This is as of 1 hour ago when these models came out. Something very important to note is they've actually moved a bit south of the 18Z. This is the 18Z right here. In consensus, the ones that were showing a potential landfall in Maui have not necessarily shifted any further west, but they've shifted south. They're not predicting the storm won't be able to go as far north as we previously saw.
That is very interesting, but it is just one run.
This is still just one run. It still brings it out. It stalls it around here for still another 2 days or so. Pretty similar to what the National Hurricane Center says. But it's very important because it means the odds of a landfall in Maui are decreasing. Further away it stays from them, the better.
Only slightly.
Yeah, the landfall threat here is really not the biggest threat with this system. If it does make landfall, then yeah, there's going to be even larger problems, especially around but really, whether if it makes landfall or stalls 20 miles off the coast of Maui or Kailua or whatever, this is still a significant threat to all of Hawaii.
So that again is another quick look at the models there. We're not staying here for long, it's just a quick update that we're doing. The latest on the flooding warnings. There's a flash flood warning for the whole island of Hawaii. Radar showed bands of heavy rain moving onshore from the southeast. Rain rates were 1 to 2 inches per hour. Civil Defense reported that Highway 270 remains closed near mile marker 24. Kalaiki Road in the Kau District has also been closed. Heavy rain will continue to move over the Big Island through the rest of this afternoon and possibly longer. That is just the one flash flood warning that's out right now. The one that was in, was it Maui or Oahu, one of them, whichever one it was, it's not there anymore, but the flash flood watch is in effect for all of the Hawaiian Islands until at least Friday night. Before we move on, I'd want to try and get the latest radar just briefly. It looks a bit like this. some significant rainfall occurring in the southern part of the Big Island for a time there, as well as the northern part too, the extremities of the island. And also a lot going on in Oahu right now by the looks of things. A significant band moving through there delivering continuous rainfall, so we could see some significant accumulations over there in the next hour or two. And also in Maui, some significant rain, especially on the eastern side. I think there was a flood warning there a little bit earlier. Be surprised if that still isn't in effect, because it looks like some more significant rain is about to reach Maui in the next hour. Is there anything else you guys wanted to pick up on here?
I just want to say, in terms of rainfall, you know, I think it's someone that's starting to be impacted by wind shear. The wind shear is coming from the southwest now at over 30 knots in some places of the storm, and that's one of the reasons we might see, you know, more dangerous rainfall. You see convection starting to be stripped to the north and east with the direction of the shear, and that's actually carrying rain towards the islands, even though the storm's still further away.
So there we are.
The only comment that I would like to add is, of course, always listen to local authorities. Make sure you obey any evacuation orders that are given. And if you are ending up getting caught in your home during one of these floods while you're getting hurricane force winds, it's really not a good situation. So if you're not gonna, obviously it's too late to get off any of the Hawaiian Islands.
Of course.
But you need to make yourself as safe as possible. If you're still in the Hawaiian Islands during this storm, stay away from any kind of creek or stream or river that may overflow its banks, because you do not want to be caught out in this storm with a river rising up to your front porch when there's 65, 75, 85 mile an hour winds outside. So obey all evacuation orders and just stay as safe as possible during this storm.
Definitely. Well, that concludes this short update on Hurricane Lane. The Force 13 channel will keep you regularly updated as the storm continues to approach the islands, as well as our social platforms elsewhere on Facebook and Twitter. Search Force 13 all in text. And you can also contact the Force 13 Skype account and add Fool 13 on Discord at extension 9094. We also have a server on there as well if you'd like to get involved with our little community on there too. We're always here if you have any questions that need answering on or off the air. But until next time, that's all for now, and we hope everyone stays safe out there in Hawaii, and hopefully this storm will continue to weaken and stall quickly. Right now, just to reiterate, around 125 mile an hour winds, forward motion is reduced to 6 miles per hour, Force 13's estimate 124, so pretty good alignment, and as you can see there, the eye wall is just hanging on. Good night.